So welcome back to another video tutorial. In this video session, we are going to discuss horoscope. I want the students to tell whatever they think about the chart. While making any statement, once you say you read out some planetary position, you immediately try attempting to tell the result of the combination. For suppose you say I see the Lagna Lord in the 5th house, then you say what do you want to say about it. Okay, so just don't read out the horoscope as it is. Try to make some predictions. We're all learning, so there's no need to worry about mistakes. And in case, so using the video option is up to you. This will be published on patreon.com. So what you see now in front of you is a Karkataka Lagna person's horoscope. Okay, so ascendant here, and let's say the ascendant is somewhere here, the beginnings. Yeah, okay. I can't give you the entire details of the chart due to confidentiality. So this particular moon is at the edge of the sign. So you can easily infer what nakshatra it is, right? What is the nakshatra there at the edge?
It is Kada.
Aslesha.
Aslesha, yeah, correct. Aslesha is a nakshatra. Now, just having these two inputs alone, can each one of you try something like what kind of personality this person is?
Sir, first lord in the first house. Okay, so this gives it like a almost sort of a fickle-minded personality because it's moon and Cancer.
Okay.
Sort of.
Very emotional.
Ascendant degree, sir. Ascendant degree and moon.
Let's go slowly one by one. Emotional. Okay, it's a very important point because the nature of the person can influence the events in life. Even if you have some combinations, given the background of the type of the person, it will all change, right? Don't you think it will change? It will change. So, have you understood what I was trying to say? That is a type. So this is 2 times Karkataka. Ascendant is in Karkataka and moon is also in Karkataka. So the person becomes fully Cancer type. And so you have to remember this, okay, the emotion part. Then of course you can say something else. But in the Bhava chart, the moon is over here. Okay. It is in the 2nd house. So you'll have to read it as first lord in the 2nd and not first lord in the 1st. Because the ascendant is at something like I'm just changing it purposely, somewhere let's say 8 degrees, okay, and moon is in maybe 29 degrees. So it is gone ahead, so it's in the 2nd bhava. Now we know a little bit of this because this sign is ruled by moon and it is now moon and ascendant in the same sign, so the sign is expressed so strongly, so gives them the nature of Cancer, the water sign, emotions, tears, etc. Then what we do is we'll introduce one by one certain grahas. So for example, you can I'll bring in Mars and I place here, and it is both in Rashi and Bhava in the 8th. So anybody wants to say something about this?
Sir, 5th lord in the 8th, which causes pulmonary disorders. More of cough and those kinds of issues. Okay. And then, of course, basically 5th lord in the 8th house, another symptom is sometimes putra dosha is also possible.
No, Mr. Harry, whenever you say something also possible, you should not say that. Okay. First you say putra dosha is there.
Okay.
Because once you start diluting astrology, then you will not be able to make firm statements. Okay, so you should say there is putra dosha. You don't have to worry at all what's happening, because that is what the ancient masters said.
So 5th lord in the 8th means putra dosha and cough and pulmonary disorders.
Okay, good.
Like almost guaranteed.
Anything else you somebody else wants to say about Mars?
Sir, Raja Yoga Karaka planet is in 8th, sir. It's
fantastic. The most important planet for this Lagna, the most important planet for this Lagna happens to be in
8th house.
8th house. And is it a simple 8th house? Can you add one more dimension to it?
And the lord of this house is Saturn, sir.
Saturn.
That's the point. Okay, so you'll have to say how many people in this world have fifth lord in the eighth? Raise your hands. If you say that, you will have lots of people, right? 1/12 of the world's population. Whereas if you say how many of them have it in Saturn sign, Mars in Saturn, and that too the fifth lord must be Mars. Like this, if you keep adding more parameters. Now Mars is really afflicted because it is in Saturn's house, and if that is not enough, immediately what you should ask is the lord of this house becomes a dispositor of Mars. Where is it? It is in sixth house.
Okay.
Now read this alone. Anyone?
The Lord of the 7th and 8th and the 6th.
The Lord, first of all, first say Saturn is the 6th. And is Saturn?
Saturn.
So Saturn is the Lord of the 7th.
It afflicts Mars.
Oh, okay. I think you are saying this one, right? That is, it looks here. So Mars is afflicted many times over. Okay.
Because of
but
Saturn,
anything,
yeah,
correct. There are so many other people, but they're not talking. You just want to listen, okay?
The 7th Lord in the 6th is Kalatra Shoka.
Okay, Kalatra Shoka. Okay, could be the possibility of. You can always make statements like Kalatra Dosha, Kalatra Shoka, etc. Yeah, fantastic. That is there's no denial about it.
Sir, also 12th Lord in 8th about Mars.
12th Lord. Mars is not 12th Lord. No, Mars is not 12th house Lord.
10th Lord in 8th.
Okay, for that, yeah.
So for the Cancer ascendant, Mars is a Raja Yoga Karaka, right? Now that Raja Yoga Karaka is sitting in the 8th house. Will that be so malefic for the native because it is already a Raja Yoga Karaka?
Yeah, I think Pavani mentioned that, right? Did you come late?
I joined late. Right. Sorry.
Pavani already mentioned that the Yoga Karaka, Mars has gone to the 8th, and then now we added, more students added that Saturn is also aspecting Mars, etc. So Mars is really weak. Now comes a very important point. The Lord of the 11th, it is actually in the Rashi chart, it's here only.
My question is, here, even the Raja Yoga Karaka should help, right? It should negate the effect of its position in the 8th house, right?
What you're saying is because it is Raja Yoga Karaka, it
may
will
not
remain
be so
a Raja Yoga
bad.
Karaka for all the time. Is that what you're saying?
Now it is helpless, sir, I think.
Correct. That's the way to say. It is now helpless.
The yoga doesn't work.
The yoga doesn't work. The Mars cannot keep up its promise. Understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you have a friend who did not help you? Did you go to that experience?
That is very bad. That is
maybe your own friend was in financial trouble when you asked him, can you help me with money? Or maybe he was in hospital. But he's your best friend. He's your angel. He's your guardian angel. But he is helpless. Like that, you'll not read it. In fact, it's the worst thing to happen, that if the Yoga Karaka happens to be in badly placed and afflicted, that's the worst thing that can happen. Because who else will help this person? The helper himself, the hero himself is gone.
Okay. If on the other hand, if the Mars is in the 7th house,
then it is different. Then it is different. Yeah, it's totally different. Then it would have been exalted and it could have been fantastic. But the thing is, this person, a lady, already, female, generally by nature, they have more emotions. And then ascendant Karkataka emotion, moon in Karkataka emotions, like that slowly, this is coming to more of the, challenging side. About it, everybody should contribute some points.
5th Lord in 8th is, it represents children problems. I mean,
that's we covered, no? Putra dosha. So
Sir,
5th Lord, and also
on problem 10th Lord in 8th. Can this person work something related to 8th house very well, like insurance in a company, death insurance or something like that?
You're very close.
Other people's money.
No, you are very close. Just keep thinking more about that particular aspect of 10th Lord in the 8th, etc. We'll come to that.
Sturgeon?
No, wait. You don't have to immediately say, but you can give some try. Okay, don't worry.
So, Mars in 8th house, does it relate to anything related to uterus or blood?
No, so the problem with astrology is we don't know which direction we are searching something. So what are we talking about? Okay, so
Putra dosha, and hence it is also related to uterus is what.
Oh, therefore you are saying, okay, there might be some unwanted growth in the Mars is in the 8th house, so uterus area. So the Putra dosha might be directly caused by the problems in the uterus itself, because this is a lady. Okay. So as a reminder, I will say F, okay, for female, and must be now how much? 32 years. Okay. So,
sir, one more thing. Mars in the 8th house. So one more thing. Mars in the 8th house. Okay. It actually, I think, also causes Kuja dosha, right? And it's very badly afflicted. Okay, so and then 7th, 6th, getting into this one, into 7th Lord and 6th combination, this basically increases this one
okay,
for bad marriage.
The moment you say that there is Kuja dosha, you should immediately ask where is Jupiter, because Jupiter might have cancelled it, right?
Correct.
Cancelled the dosha. So, yeah. But so we need to check where Jupiter is. So let's introduce Jupiter. Jupiter is here. Will Jupiter aspect Mars?
No, neither with those nor with Lord.
No, sir.
No,
connection. Okay, though in case you do not know, in case you do not know what's the logic, please watch my video on aspects of planets. I've done a video long time back, many years back. Okay, it's there on YouTube. Venus? So, but in the Bhava chart, actually Jupiter is here. But in spite of that, there is no, because in the Rashi chart, you will get the position. So Jupiter is here in the Bhava. So it is in the 11th Bhava.
So what about Venus, sir? If it is conjunct with Mars, it cancels Kuja, right?
Correct. So that should have been the next question. Correct. Fantastic. So we have to see where Venus is in this place, and we find Venus is here. Okay.
4th and 11th Lord in the 11th.
Sir, if Jupiter moves to 11th house in Bhava, so maybe there is some aspect on Mars, right? If you look at percentage aspect.
Actually, it is safer.
No, still
safer to go. Yeah, it will be very weak. It will not be sufficient. See, like in our exams, 50% is the minimum required even to talk about it. But to be very safe about anything, it is 75% aspect. Okay. But for the sake of argument, if you say, what about 51%? Is it not good? Okay, we can say. But Venus in this Rashi chart is where I'm placing the planets. So in the Bhava chart, Venus is here. Oh, sorry. Venus is, where is my pen? Yeah. So color changed. Okay. Venus is
Jupiter here. And Venus closely. Okay. So
Venus is in the 12th. Venus is in the 12th. Same way, Mercury, which happens to be, in the 11th, in the Rashi chart, it is in the Bhava chart, it is here. Mercury is here. But Sun is both in the Rashi and the Bhava chart here, where when I calculated the Saturn looking at Sun, Sun looking at Saturn is 100%, very close to 100%. It's above 95%. Okay.
So does that make
sexual axis?
Now,
in the sexual axis.
Yeah, it is on the 6-12 axis. Let me fill it out and then I will. So we left only Rahu. Okay, so why not include them? Now Rahu is also here. So Mars affliction has increased. Now,
too many planets in 6-12 axis, sir.
Yeah, too many planets in 6-12. Now you can keep this as the Rashi chart position, because now I'm going to actually wipe off the Bhava chart, all those pencil scribblings, and I'm going to, allow you to focus on the Bhava chart. So now what you see now will be actually the Bhava chart. So you remember, now this is the Bhava chart. Okay. And this has become the Bhava chart.
Jupiter also need to move, sir, in Bhava chart.
Yeah, Jupiter, I'm going to move it. Correct. Okay. Thanks for reminding. Okay, so then one more thing. Ketu here and Rahu here. But please remember that they're very close here in terms of degree. It just happened that the Lagna degree split them, but in reality, they're very close, almost sticking to each other. In just 1 degree, it changed. So it's cat on the wall type only. But from a new perspective, can you say something about?
So Rahu in 9th house itself is a Putra dosa or Pitru dosa, which will cause progeny issues.
1 second.
There is a sense of relief because Venus Mercury are aspecting the 5th house, both benefics, and Jupiter is also on the other side of it. Aspects we should still consider from the Rasi chart, right, sir?
Yeah. Rashi chart only, because Rashi chart is the only real thing. So
because Venus Mercury
everything should be only from the Rashi chart. Okay.
Yeah. So because Venus Mercury is aspecting 5th house, definitely there is some relief. It's not severe.
No, madam. This is Bhava chart, madam. So the aspect on 5th house is not there. In Rasi chart, they are in 11th house, right?
Yeah. So there is an aspect on 5th house, direct aspect on 5th house, right?
Got it. Yeah. Correct.
One approach that I had. So this person, given that they are 32 years old, okay. Given that Aslesha Nakshatra, they are probably running mostly a Sukramadasa, is my assumption. And given that 4th and 11th Lord and the 12th.
No, just crossed Sukramadasa, and the person is in Sun. Sun from 2017.
Second Lord in the 12th.
From 2017, it is Sun.
Okay, second Lord in the 12th, which means there would have been significant increase in losses, like, or they would have gone to a foreign country. These two possibilities, like a foreign land.
Yeah, everybody is free to say something. If a question is asked about marriage, what will be the statement?
This is a denial of marriage.
How do you know? It's only 32-year-old. How can you say denying is confirmed? Because
one of the conditions probably afflict 12th house.
Wait a minute. Who's speaking? I just forgot to watch.
One of the condition is, I think, the affliction on the 12th house for a denial of the marriage. If you see the 12th house, I've got Sun in the 12th, and it is aspected by Saturn. And the 12th Lord itself is in the same house, so it's a double affliction.
Okay. No, are you, you as an astrologer, you have the right to predict that this person is not going to get married. That's different. But the statement, what are the main reasons for it?
12th Lord in the 12th, 7th Lord in the 12th.
Lord in 6th house, sir.
Okay. Could go without marriage. Could go without marriage.
Yeah, because the Upapada Lagna itself is based on 12th house. So 12th house is very important for the marriage.
So, but 7th Lord has Jupiter's aspect, right? So it is not all hunky-dory. Saturn, Jupiter from Aries would have aspected Sagittarius, where 7th Lord is placed.
But Saturn has so many aspects, I think.
No.
Not only Jupiter.
Okay. No. What I think he's saying is Jupiter is actually here in the Rashi. So from here, Jupiter will look at Saturn. That's what he's saying, right?
Saturn.
Okay. So that's 9th house aspect falling on the 7th Lord. Okay, good. Can consider that. Now, in all this, in this scenario, a person has come to this age. Why the person is not married? See, when you say married, there are two things. One, I'm not interested in marriage at all. Like that. Another point is, I've been trying. I have had relationships and then it didn't work. Which one is symbolic of marriage trouble out of these two? No marriage at all, but don't care about it. But try, then breakups.
Try and not succeed is the biggest problem.
That is only the problem, because then the soul experiences that dosha. Do you see that? So the soul experiences that dosha. If you don't experience it, it's not even a dosha. So if you see somebody not married and is very happy with it, don't ever think he'll have 7th house dosha. Okay? You'll have just the opposite.
How do we confirm that here, that he's trying and not able to?
Trying and not able to. Or already 4 relationships have been broken. Okay? So trying.
No, sir, I'm asking from the chart, how do we see that?
Which one?
Lord in 8.
Because the seventh lord is so badly afflicted.
One is actually seventh house is not house of marriage alone. It is also relationship, because you know seventh is the opposite, the other person in my life. Lagna is I and seventh is opposite. So the seventh lord in the sixth is not just for marriage, it is for any kind of relationship.
Fifth lord is also fifth is also a relationship.
How do you make a relationship? How do you sustain a relationship? How do you make it happen? How long will a relationship work?
For that you need a dignified, either seventh lord needs to be strong.
No. I'm asking general knowledge. How do you make a relationship stay? Not astrology.
Sharing, sir.
Sharing. Correct. So sharing.
Sharing.
Okay. Yeah. How's this person's sharing? Which house is house of sharing?
12th house.
12th house.
12th house, sir.
12th house.
Sun and Saturn aspect, sir.
So 12th lord in 12th house.
So second lord in
Second lord in
12th. So when a person is born on that date, the person is a child, right? Baby in the cradle. You look at a baby and tell all these things? Or do you think that we are actually talking about the person's past life?
Past life.
Only past life. We are talking only past life in astrology. Okay, anybody does not believe past life, please do not get into astrology. It makes no sense. So the planet in the horoscope on 6-12 axis is the key to understanding this type of karma. 6-12 is the place where we have the non-sharing. Okay. Sun and Saturn, mutual aspect is 95% and above. It is almost perfect. 1 degree difference, almost 100%. Okay. Second lord in the 12th, giving up on family, not sharing with family. Fifth lord in the 8th, not doing justice to children. Seventh lord in the 6th, fighting his spouse, separating from spouse. Why separating? Can anybody say, if seventh lord is in the 6th, why is it separating?
Because it's 12th.
Yeah.
Because 6-12 is separation on 1-7. You understand? It's a twisted axis. So not sharing with any of these people. And in this birth, whom will the person find to share? The system won't give them. So you try. You try and try. So what will be the remedy for such a person?
Is to
more charity regarding 12th house matters.
First you have to tell them this is what happened in your past life. That is why this is happening. Because why me? Why is it all failing for me? Everybody in this world is having a relationship so beautiful. They're living this, like that. For me, nothing is working. So when your question is asked why me, then you have to only search for 6, 12 and 8 in the chart. And forget everything else. Look at the number of planets in 6, 8 and 12 in this chart.
3, 4 planets in the 12.
5 planets.
How many? 100?
9.
5 out of 9.
5 out of 9 times. Okay. So any Dasha Bhukti, when you read Parashari text, Adhyaya, the Dasha Adhyaya, is it placed in 6? Is it placed in 12? Is it placed in 8? Continuously, you'll have to read 5 out of 9 times only negative results. So you should tell them, please start sharing. If you don't share, who will come and share it with you? They'll go away. Okay.
Sir,
So
just a question of curiosity, client may not disclose, but with Venus in 12th house of blood pressure, she might have been in relationship, right?
I already told you, 4 breakups.
Okay.
4 breakups. And the breakup happens, it is very strong negative combinations. Okay. Because that is an indicator. And even if you read anybody's horoscope in the future and they said, I already had 4 or 5 breakups.
I don't like this. You speaking at me. I feel like I've been fooled into studying here.
No.
I'm applying to University of London.
How to find who is speaking?
Sir, Annapurni, please mute.
Yeah, she muted herself.
She muted. She muted.
Okay. I have to edit that portion then. Okay.
Sir, so the reason for the relationships also, the previous dasa that she ran, which is Shukra dasa, 4th and 11th Lord.
Good.
Okay.
Fantastic point.
So technically, it would have created opportunities for relationships. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been a problem, but that would have ended up breakup because of the 5th Lord in the 8th and 7th Lord.
So the planetary, so the planetary combinations determine what type of experience you will have. Then dasha, antardasha. So you rightly pointed out that in Venus Mahadasha all this happened. The problem is the dasha that is running at the prime of your life for marriage, the planets are in 12th. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Two more points,
Sir,
sir.
but 1 in 2 is very good for family, right, sir? 1 in 2.
1 in first and second is good, but not second Lord in 12th. See, whenever you read something like that, Lagna Lord in second, then immediately the second Lord, where is it? You have to search. Then only you can reconfirm it. That is one more angle, one more question in the interview. With one question, you cannot find out anything about anyone.
And the
Lagna Lord is strong enough, sir.
Huh?
And the Lagna Lord is strong enough.
Lagna Lord in terms of Shadbala, yeah, it's good only, not so bad, because the moon is just slowly
came out of the
Amavasya, right? It is Panchami, or the Tithi is Panchami. Okay, yeah,
very good.
It's improving, but the most strongest planet in this chart in Shadbala is Saturn. Is it? So the problem with strong planets that cause negative yoga in the chart is that the strength will prove what it is capable of. You understand?
Yeah.
So when you say Shadbala is good or bad, you have to be very careful with that logics. You say Saturn became the strongest planet, where it should have been, Moon should have been the strongest planet, Jupiter should have been the strongest planet, like that. Okay, can anybody guess which might be, without even looking into Shadbala, because I'm not going to reveal the
Saturn is opposite to Sun, sir.
Which is the weakest planet in this chart?
Weakest planet is...
Simple, wild guess, because obviously you can't do a guessing like that. But anybody, wild guess. In Shadbala.
Mars? Jupiter, sir.
No, it's okay. It's difficult to guess like that. It's not a very sensible question. Mercury is the weakest planet. Okay. Now, that's a problem, because the 12th has become the weakest. So the non-sharing has gone to that extent. So the only hope
can we also add?
Yeah.
Can we also add, like, Sun is in the Marana Karaka Sthana, right? 12th house.
These are, when you add points, you shouldn't go away from the topic. We are not talking about lifespan or anything like that. Okay, so exactly how to use astrology is, like, if you know any terms, don't go away from the line, the talk, the topic. So instead, had you told me Sun is in the 12th house of bed, Sayana Sukhasthana, I would have said a fantastic point. Okay, because if you look at astrology at every angle in a chart, it will run to several pages, and after that you will not know what to tell. The problem is trying to have a partner in bed has become so difficult.
Sir, in this again, bed pleasures, I mean, will not be
bed
so
pleasure.
denied,
Bed pleasure means not exactly that. We have to use the right words for it. It is like when you are happily married, and if you are in a marriage and a relationship, you have a partner in bed with you 8 hours. 8 hours we don't do anything, right? We only sleep. So it is just that it's a comfortable thing. It's like, I'm not in isolation. I'm not alone. That one. The 12th house, isolation house. I have somebody with me. And that is because we are sharing. We are sharing this house. We are sharing this, like that. Don't take it literally. Bed means only that. Because the word bed, pleasure itself is wrong. It is just that we're sharing the bed. Okay.
Sir, I want to ask something.
Okay, if this person is ready to adjust and share and be flexible and all those, if she decided to be that way, I still think that she has to find the right companion, right? Because right house.
Yeah, that is perfect. The moment you see 7th Lord in the 6th, you should warn everybody in this world, please be slow to marriage. Don't rush. Don't go for all these things. You're having some danger there. There's a possibility of an enemy coming into your life. Your partner will become your enemy. 7th Lord in the 6th is partner will become an enemy. 6th Lord in the 7th is enemy enters your life as a partner. Both ways, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, slight difference only. So, but which is more negative, 7th in 6th or 6th in 7th?
6th in 7th, sir. 6th in 7th is dangerous, sir.
6th in 7th or 7th in 6th? Which is more?
7th in 6th.
I will not answer this question. I'll keep it open. Okay?
7th and 6th. Okay. Loss of marriage.
Because
no, you tell me which is worse.
Sir, if 6th Lord is in 7th, it might have another lordship. And if that lordship is 9th Lord, then at least there is some chance that some other factor to neutralize that 6th Lord in 7th. But if 7th Lord goes to 6th, then...
That's a very fantastic way of looking at it.
No, but I think BPHS says there are more positives for 6th Lord in 7th than 7th Lord in 6th. 7th Lord in 6th is almost everything negative.
7th Lord in 6th is bad, more than 6th in 7th.
Sir,
7th Lord in the 6th is bad because it stepped backwards.
7th Lord in 6th, they will come and...
7th Lord in the 6th is, it stepped backwards into the 12th from the 7th. That's why. Okay. So now that 7th Lord in the 6th is not just...
they will come to take away.
No, 7th Lord in 6th is not just marriage. It is relationship everywhere, even in office. Everywhere.
Partners.
Anybody. With anybody, the next tendency is to fight. Can you start a fight? Transaction house. Fight with customer, fight with office colleagues. Everywhere.
Fight with others.
Yeah, fight with others generally. And 6th house is house of litigation, court case and all that. What will an enemy do? What will death do? What will disease do? All these things will only take us to the 12th house. 12th house is hospital. 12th house is financial loss. The 12th house is solitude, separation, all of that. Okay. Some
Sir,
finding.
Sir,
just a
could we say
question,
the same
sir.
for 7th and 8th also, sir? Is it as bad as 7th and 6th?
7th and 8th, huh?
Yes, sir.
Lord of 7th and 8th is not as bad as 7th Lord in 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, but 7th Lord in 8th will give health problems to the wife, sickly. They'll have uterus problem, they'll have surgery, they'll have always some problem, health problem. It's a different kind of problem. But you have the person with you.
Sir,
Yeah.
now...
12th
Sir, now with this
Lord
chart,
is
what kind of
also
remedies? What kind of
donations,
remedies?
sir.
See the... wait,
sorry,
somebody is
sir.
speaking. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, 12th Lord is, 12th house is also donations. So if this person is willing to give away a lot of donations, will that rectify the problems of the 12th house, sir?
Exactly. There is nothing else. This is the only purpose of astrology. And please do not think that whatever is destined to happen will happen. How you find out is, when I questioned that person, why did you have breakups? She started complaining. You understand? So that there is anger issues, there is emotions issue, like that, then it becomes confirmed. So the projection is now working. That's the point. The projection is now working. So when the projection, you see it is working, you should warn them. You should say, see, stop. There's no point. You have to change. How do you explain somebody's horoscope is the same thing from birth to the last? How do you explain transformation? How did Angulimal become the monk when the Buddha said he'll get moksha in this birth itself? What Buddha himself could not get. for he had to go through 1,000 births before he reached there. How? So if in his horoscope, what will show? Murderer or which one? Actually, it will show murderer only. Okay, because that is what he was originally. Now, what he changed will not be shown by the chart. So you have to tell people, this is where your weakest spot is, this is what you've done in your past, so you need to change. That's the only way to use astrology.
Transformation should be seen in such charts.
Transformation, the house of transformation is 8th house. You don't have to wait for the 8th house, dasha and antardasha. Free will is always there with the human being. It is just that I have to first understand. But the problem is, will you listen? Will you come for guidance? Only then it happens. So the person has not consulted me. Please remember that. The person, somebody else is consulting. How will the person know about all this? Who will believe astrology? They won't. Because they'll have their own they'll have their own reasons for it. You get it? They'll have their own reasons. What is the reason? What is astrology? Nothing to do with my life. That man did this, therefore it is like this. That's all. You can argue like that. How will you disprove it? Tell me any logic to disprove that. Same event.
Very hard.
Same event when T.N. Seshan, the then election chief, tells Rajiv Gandhi, your next 2 months life is in danger because a Guruvayur astrologer has told me this. Rajiv Gandhi said, anyway, we have to die one day or the other. So I don't care. Only fools are afraid and cowards are afraid. I'm not like that. At least have extra security. No need. I'll take care. Already God has given him a hint when he went to Sri Lanka. So he comes down. And that too, the astrologer told that if you go southwards only, the problem will be there. Southern direction. So he came to the southernmost part. So events, when it happens, you can easily justify with astrology because that particular time in his life was dangerous. You will say, no, nothing like that. Those people planned it, they killed him. Why astrology? That's the problem. Because if you look at it from some other angle, it will be so perfect. Planets killed him? No, the bomb. So what has planets to do with? Like that you can argue. So they'll say, they'll come up with their own examples. They'll say, it's because of this, because of that, and things like that. So no, you start sharing. No, how can I share? The person himself is not there. You give me a good husband, I'll share.
Sir, what kind of remedies would we prescribe for this chart given the big problems, all these problems here? Versus, of course, Dasa Bhukti based Surya Mahadasa remedies.
No, one is you can go through the remedies as stated in Maharshi Parashara's textbook, typical, that method you can use. And the standard method is the planets that are supposed to, in the horoscope, whichever is the enemy, functional, malefic, all the gods, the remedy should all be related to them first. But in case of Mars here in this chart, you have to give them a red coral suggestion. Because Mars gem is red coral. It's not even a gem. It's an organic gem. And increase red energy. Avoid black, gray and dark blue. So the person said, I'm only using this color. Which one? Black, blue and gray.
And blue.
Now that is confirmation on astrology. Like for example, Steve Jobs' Lagna is?
Leo, sir.
Leo. What color he should not use? Same colors. Blue and brown and black. So Steve Jobs took an oath that I'll only use these colors.
But it didn't make him unlucky, right? It succeeded quite a bit.
There'll be success in so many other ways, but it is Marakadipati for him, no? Death planet. Okay. Of course, you can argue in so many ways, but that's still a successful life. Yeah. You can say that.
Yeah. So speaking of this, I just wanted to share. Okay, so this person was running a Ketu Mahadasa for the rest of the audience. Ketu Mahadasa, it's not very affected. Okay, but it's still Ketu Mahadasa. For some reason, this person, when going through the childhood, they picked up this habit of watching these Ganesha cartoons. Okay. And has become so addicted to the Ganesha. Okay. Literally. Okay. They don't worship Ganesha as proper, for
the proper way,
during different festivals, but they just collect images of Ganesha like an addiction. Okay.
Okay.
And this is in turn protected, which was very interesting. And I asked, when did this start? It started just about.
Yeah. Now you said something. What if I tell you the similar story from my experience? A man who went through Ketu Dasha, I just said, worship Ganesha. As long as you worship Ganesha, nothing is going to happen in Ketu. And he, being a smart guy, he asked me, when did it start? I said, from this time it started. From that time till the date he consulted, he told me that he had received gifts because he's an officer. So he receives lots of gifts. He received gifts only of Ganesha. Around 120 idols are there in his house. How does each person in the world who gives him gift know that he's going through Ketu Mahadasha? So he's asked me afterwards, how is it all happening? How do people know these things? How do they know I'm going through Ketu Mahadasha to give me only Ganesha? So it became a habit for him, and a gift comes. Before opening, he will tell, it seems, inside there is a Ganesha. Then he'll open it and say, there's a Ganesha. 100 plus idols in his house, all types, glass type, crystal type, this type, that type, everything. Now, if astrology gets documented, there will be a lot of people who tell the same thing. Now you told one story, I'm telling another story. If there are more people, they can tell more stories, all matching the same thing. That is only astrology. Okay, right. We have finished our.
Speaking of this, so there is.
No, Harry, you keep that in stock because we have to finish this session. So what was the takeaway in this lesson that we saw?
Marriage.
Just one point. Just one point. That, like, what did you see and what did you conclude? What, in case you see something like this in the future, what will you tell the person? Just a short one.
Strong past birth indications in the 6-12 axis.
No, you forgot 8th also, because not just 6 also. And
yes. 6, 8,
6, 8 and 12.
6, 8 and 12.
Always those people who are 6, 8 and 12 planets, please use astrology. That's what you should say. Okay, yeah. This has been my approach, and later on we will do more videos on these things. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. This will be available on patreon.com.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Sir,
sir.
can I ask you one last question?
Okay, the questions never end. Tell me.
Sir, I've been trying to, but didn't get any chance.
Oh yeah, then please ask.
Sir, Mercury, you said Mercury is the weakest in Shadbala. Sir, without seeing the chart, can we get the hint which could be the least strong planet? Because Mercury, sir, one second, because Mercury is in own house and it's very
no, it is not in own house. No, it is not in own house. You missed the point.
Sir,
it is in the 11th. It is in Rishabha. It is in Rishabha. In the Bhava, it moved to the 12th. It's not in own house.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
So in Patreon, in which category will we able to see this video?
Actually, this was supposed to be only in the 3rd category, but right now I am releasing it under the 1st category itself for beginners level.
Okay, because I'm yet to purchase it, so I wanted to know, sir.
No, you just sign up for the least one. All of you sign for the least one. We are just trying to form a community.
Okay, sure.
No need to take the $10. Some people have taken the $10 scheme, but you all take $3. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
And we will add more people, and once it comes to a particular level, I will hold more frequent classes in between consultations or specifically topics, and I'm planning to invite other.
Okay.
I am also planning to invite other astrologers. I have around 2,000 astrologers as my friends, and I'll be, each one has some specific some advantage. they know something much more, in a particular angle. So we will try to get more knowledge from others also.
So, sir, if I have paid for more, should I change it now? Because
which one did you pay?
I paid for 5.
5? Yeah, you can change it to 3. No issues.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Bye, Guruji.
Bye to everyone. We have come to the end of this video. In case you have any doubts, please type them out in the comment section. And whenever I find the time, I'll answer them for you. And see you soon in my next video.